All right, everybody, welcome back. Get ready, because today we are diving headfirst into Japanese history.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
It is. We're uncovering fascinating insights about Tokugawa's Tsunayoshi.
Tokugawa's 쓰나요시.
You got it. The fifth shogun of the Edo shogunate.
Now remind me.
That's the feudal military government that ruled Japan.
Right. For over 250 years.
Exactly. And we've got excerpts from a text.
Cool.
Yeah, focused specifically on Tsunayoshi.
Okay.
And trust me, his story is way more interesting.
More interesting than what?
Than your average history textbook.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So what made this shogun so unique?
Yeah, what did make him so unique?
Well, let's find out.
All right, let's dive in.
So to kick things off, what's really fascinating about Tsunayoshi?
Well, when you think of a shogun,
Yeah, the typical image.
you picture a warlord.
Right. Obsessed with power.
Military strategy, all of that.
But Tsudayoshi's reign,
This guy.
he took a completely different path.
Really?
Yeah, he emphasized civil governance. And that's not all.
Yeah.
He left a lasting impact on Japanese society.
Wow. Okay, so tell me more.
So our source, it lays out how Tsunayoshi,
Okay.
despite coming from a military family,
So you're saying?
he was deeply influenced by Buddhism and Confucianism.
I see. That's where we see.
Exactly. That's where we see the seeds of his unique approach to governing.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Buddhism, with its emphasis on compassion and nonviolence,
Right.
likely played a significant role in Tsunayoshi's focus on peace.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And his emphasis on ethical conduct and social order
Yeah,
reflects Confucian ideals.
for sure.
These philosophies really shaped how he governed.
It's like he looked at the whole military power structure and said,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to focus on the well-being of the people instead.
Wow.
It really challenges our assumptions about leadership.
It totally does. And this unconventional thinking,
Yeah.
it's also apparent in another aspect of his rule.
But really? Which one?
Tsunayoshi's deep love for dogs.
Ah, yes, the famous dog shogun.
That's him.
Tell me more about that.
Well, Tsunayoshi issued decrees protecting animals,
Okay.
particularly dogs.
Dogs specifically.
Yeah, these laws,
Yes.
known as the laws of compassion for living things, they went as far as punishing people
Punishing for what?
for abandoning or mistreating animals.
Wow, it was pretty serious.
It was. These laws
Yeah.
weren't just symbolic, they were enforced.
Wow. That's remarkable for that time period.
Here it is.
Punishing someone for abandoning a
I
dog.
know.
It's almost like animal rights activism centuries ahead of its time.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
While some saw his obsession with dogs as excessive,
Right.
it's important to consider it within the context of evolving Buddhist thought at the time.
Oh, that's a good point.
The idea of extending compassion to all living beings was gaining traction,
I see.
and Tsunayoshi's decrees,
And law.
in a way, reflected that cultural shift.
So we have this shogun who prioritized peace, ethical governance,
Yeah.
and even animal welfare.
It really makes you think, how did this impact Japan in the long run?
That's a great question.
Well, Tsunayoshi's rule marked a turning point.
A turning point, how so?
He shifted Japan away from a solely military-focused government
Okay.
towards one that prioritized civil administration and stability.
So that's a pretty big change.
It was. This set the stage for a period of peace and economic prosperity.
Wow. So because of this shift,
It allowed Japanese culture to flourish.
it's amazing how all these pieces fit together.
It is.
His love for dogs, often seen as just an eccentricity,
Right.
is actually tied to these larger philosophical and cultural currents.
Exactly.
They all connect.
It does. Tokugawa Tsunayoshi, the dog shogun,
Yeah.
might seem like an oddity at first glance,
Right.
but his reign reveals a lot about the complexities of leadership
Mhm.
and the evolving values of 17th century Japan.
So much more than just a guy who loved dogs.
So much more. He left a legacy that extended far beyond his love for dogs.
He really did. What stands out to you as the biggest takeaway from this deep dive?
For me, it's the unexpected ways
Yeah.
in which personal beliefs, even ones that seem unconventional,
Right.
can shape a leader's actions and ultimately the course of history.
That's a powerful thought.
It is. Tsunayoshi's story certainly prompts us to reconsider our assumptions about what makes an effective leader.
It really does. You know, it makes me wonder if those same principles of compassion and understanding
Interesting.
could offer valuable insights for leaders today.
Now, that's something worth pondering, isn't it?
It definitely is. I encourage all of you listening to explore this era further.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Who knows what other surprises you might find.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.